Hi. I wanted to go over three works of art that absolutely sucked. They were terrible, but I want to give you the philosophy I have behind not giving up. So, a lot of times I'll tell new artists, just finish it no matter what, don't abandon it. But it goes to a more spiritual level for me. Idle hands are the devil's workshop. That is scary to me. What I really like is I'm seeing this rise in spirituality and people yearning to learn more about God or Jesus. And as a Catholic, I think it's great. I've always been this way. I've always considered myself a spiritual person. And it ties into art with the fact that I'm I don't want my hands to be idle. I want to be creating something. And with the mental health crisis that we have in the US and probably worldwide, the best thing I can tell you is to pick up a paintbrush or a charcoal pencil or pastels. So this week I'm going to show you that although these works failed, I learned from them. I wasn't going to get stuck in my head and say, I'm terrible. Why do I do this? I just got right back on that horse. I started drawing again. The first one you're going to see is FDR. Now, this is when I did a series of all of the US presidents, and he was the president from 1933 through 1945. And when I drew this first portrait, keep in mind, this wasn't a practice go. This was on really good paper that I only had a limited supply of, and it was a fail. It was awful. It sucked, and I'm okay with that because I went back and I redid it, and you can see the finished piece. It was just better. I was proud of it. I signed my name to it. The second fail I had was Coolidge. So I really, really like Coolidge a lot. He was president in 1923. Very cool guy. There's no way. I mean, I could have like snuck this in there and been like, yeah, it wasn't my best work, but it was a fail. So I had to redo it, which I did. The reason why I like Coolidge is President Coolidge, is he was a man of very few words. And in this very noisy world that we live in, everyone's talking, everyone has an opinion. This man spoke very little. He was a good man. And I remember something interesting I found out about Coolidge is he was at a dinner party and this lady approached him and said, I bet you will say more than three words tonight. And he looked at her very calmly and said, you lose, which I think is kind of funny because that's all he said. And he was done for the night. So the third fail I had is Ray Charles. Man, cool dude. Afflicted by addiction. That's a world that I know about, and I've had family members struggle with it. And it feels like it touches a lot of people in society, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's an illness, and there is a spiritual remedy for that. So if you are afflicted with that, I hope you get help. So, Ray Charles, the first drawing you'll see here is this. I thought the color palette was perfect. It was blue and black, it was cool, like he was. And look at it, man. This is just ugh, garbage. So I reapproached it with a different palette. I went with a very, very limited palette of earth tones, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. But I want to read you this quote that I read by Ray, and I put it on an overlay. I was born with the music inside me. Music was one of my parts, like my ribs, my kidneys, my liver, my heart, like my blood. It was a force already within me when I arrived on the scene. It was a necessity for me, like food or water. Ray Charles. So, in this world of spirituality and people seeking more answers and seeking the good, thank God. Welcome to my world. This is what I've been striving for, and it's what has blessed me incredibly. The more I seek God, the more I feel like He reveals Himself to me, and I can feel His love. But a lot of the times I feel that love most intensely when I'm creating art. You're going to have fails. You're going to have failure with art, and that's okay. Just don't let your hands be idle. Get right back into it, rethink it, learn from it. Say, what did I do wrong on this piece? How can I correct it? What should I do better on the next one? And then go back to that workshop with God, with God, and co create with Him. And that's what art is. And that's what I try to share with new artists. Don't worry about making bad art. We learn from that. Worry about making no art. God Himself was the ultimate creator. He creates, and it's beautiful. And I feel like He has a tender heart towards creatives, that He wants us to create. And it's not a matter of making something that sucks or isn't so good. It's just don't quit, just start again. And I am doing a charcoal live workshop tomorrow at 10 a.m. I have some new artists who are courageous enough to say, "Okay, I don't know what I'm doing," and I said, "Well, let's draw together." So if you want to join me, that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. You only need a few items, some charcoal stuff, and yeah, let's make art together. Let's place our hands and our gifts into God's hands and say, "Show me what to do, help me create, help me to make work that glorifies you." God bless. Have a really good week. I will see you next week.